Hi there. Let's talk about business ideas which you can start with 100,000 Kenya shillings. Assuming you have 100k, which businesses can you jump into and be able to make money? And this goes for you whether you're living in Nairobi or any other urban center out there in Kenya. You are all much welcomed to the Money Daily TV. My name is Afagza Sifuna. And with that, guys, the very first business idea which you could look to start with 100,000 Kenya shillings is the idea of you doing mobile food vending. You could start even a simple thing as a mobile food vendor, whereby you're moving maybe food with carts or even a mobile truck in case you already have a given truck, or even you can establish a very makeshift, simple food court which people can be passing by to enjoy the delicacies which you are preparing. Of course, this business has a twist to it, in that you might need to have the relevant licenses, or even so, you need to target your audience in a very appropriate way. For example, if you are near, for example, a college, you could think about starting a fast food chain, whereby you vending this food in a fast food chain, kind of like maybe you're having a mobile cart, and then you're selling, like, for example, smochas, selling, for example, kebabs, selling, for example, chips, you name it, because that's the kind of food which your target audience might be looking for. So be on the lookout for that, and then be sure you can be able to make some money. Okay? And then the second business idea which you could look to jump into with 100,000 Kenya shillings is the idea of you doing online reselling or e-commerce. What do I mean? A good chunk of people out there think that you need to have millions of monies for you to be able to start your own unique business. Guys, you can also be in business by you just being a broker. What if you speak to several people out there and agree, for example, you can get a given commission on top of it in case you bring them sales, okay? But also, you could have your own commodities, just a little stock, which you're selling online on the go. You sell, you replenish. You sell, you replenish. And with that, you can be able to be in a very sustainable business. By the way, I know even people, for example, in the city who even are selling high value items which they don't own, but they are in big business. You might think about you starting your own online kind of like business, selling a specific commodity, whether it is electronics, whether it is fashion items, and then you're gonna be in very, very big business. Okay? And then the third business idea, which you could look to start with just 100,000 Kenya shillings, is the idea of you doing laundry or cleaning services. Out here, we have commercial buildings, we have residentials who are looking for commercial businesses. Think about it. All these apartments you're seeing out there require for someone to be cleaning them every once a day or even once every 2 days. Who does that? You could set a company which is very, very geared towards providing cleaning services, and even infuse that with laundry services. Maybe you have your own laundry machines. You could think about using that for business. Maybe you have your own vacuum machines. You could think about using that to do cleaning services. Why not start to do that? And then you can be able to also be in very big business. Okay? And then the third business idea which you could look to jump into and be able to make money is the idea of you doing freelance digital marketing and social media management. Out here, we've seen people make money through social media. Maybe someone has a huge following, okay? They can utilize a particular audience to pitch to different companies out there, to pitch different brands out there, and in the process, they can be able to make money through a social media following or even so the audience they have. Look at it this way. Maybe you don't have such a huge following, but you know skills around search engine optimization, how to manage social media pages, etc. Why not speak to people with big accounts out there, pitch ideas to them on how they can be able to turn that into money making, have an agreement on sharing of profit or any deal you bring into them, and then capitalize on using their audiences to be able to foster that particular business interest. You gotta be shocked that people out there are looking at opportunities to make money, but they have no idea on how to go about it. If you provide them that particular solution, be sure you can be in very, very big business. Okay? Try that today. It starts with you going out there, speaking to people, speaking to brands, and you're gonna be surprised as to how you can be able to convert that into big, big business. Okay? And then the fifth business idea, which you could look to jump into and start with 100,000 Kenya shillings, more so in urban centers, is the idea of you doing events planning and management. Guys, in urban centers, we are talking about people holding convergences regularly. In fact, more regularly than even in rural areas. And with that, that tells you this is the kind of business which you can be on each and every day of the week. Think about it. How many times are people, for example, coming together to have chama meetings? How many times are they coming together to organize a wedding? How many times are they coming together to plan for a funeral? You name it. All these convergences require for somebody to organize, support. Maybe whether it is providing space with chairs, tent, where people can sit, and providing catering services, you name it. You can look to be the provider of these services and be very sure, for example, with 100,000 Kenyan shillings only, even in a city like Nairobi, you could even rent a big hall somewhere and be providing this space for people to converge on a regular basis. And you're going to end up getting paid for these services. Or even so, maybe you can even get a number of tents, a number of plastic chairs, which you can be renting out to people out there for them to use, and they're going to be paying you per each of these rentals. Of course, we need to ensure you have quality products, you keep your products in a clean state, and be sure you can be in very, very big business. Okay? And then the sixth business idea, which you can look to jump into with just 100,000 Kenya shillings, is the idea of you doing homemade craft and jewelry. I'm pretty sure out here in the city you've seen a good chunk of people are very passionate about jewelry. Whether it is people rocking shambalas, people having maybe necklaces, you name it. All these are made by people out there. All these are made by individuals. Why not look to jump in that particular space whereby you do handmade crafts, handmade jewelries, and then sell, whether you can sell online, sell by hawking on the street, sell by partnering with other businesses out there which are selling some kind of commodities, and in the process you're going to be able to make money. It starts with you having an idea, getting the raw resources, and then starting to put together your own pieces of jewelry. And you can end up selling these products to people out there and make insane amounts of money. And by the way, jewelry is the kind of business which you can even turn in a 200% profit. It is that crazy. You can turn in a 200% profit by you selling jewelry. So don't hesitate. You can jump in such a kind of business and then be able to make awesome amount of money. And then guys, the seventh and last idea I want to discuss with you, which you can start with just 100k Kenya shillings, is the idea of you doing tutoring or even so online educational content. And by the way, this is an idea which has been there from way back, and people are continuing to invent and invent over time. And I'm saying so because with online tutoring, it requires for you to have a given skill. Whether it is, for example, a skill around how to hit it big on YouTube, whether it is a language skill, whether it is a skill around you teaching CBC students, you name it. It begins with having a given skill set and then looking for customers. And customers are out there in plenty. People are looking for people to teach them out there. People don't have time. They are looking for those experts who can make the learning process easy. You can be that expert. Start, jump on different online platforms out there. Even you can just use your own account on social media, whether it is Twitter, Facebook, you name it, to build an audience which you can convert into customers. You can also go out there and look for those dedicated websites out there, for example, Upwork, Fiverr, which you can look to jump onto and be able to look for clients too. So the possibilities are not limited out there. It is easy to have a skill, package your lessons very well, have a pricing to it, and then go out there looking for customers. You just need 1, 2, 3, 4 customers, and over time, your client base is gonna expand, and you're gonna be able to be in very big business because people out there are looking for educational content day in, day out. Guys, which of these ideas do you think you can implement? Do you think these ideas are feasible to start with under 100,000 Kenya shillings in Kenya? Are there other amazing ideas which you think a person can hit big using only 100k Kenya shillings? Drop your thoughts down below in the comment section. Let's continue discussing. Cheers guys, and look forward to share with you other amazing videos next time. Bye bye, and you all stay safe.